Hello, I'm back with my drawings. This is Deborah, and I did the little hyrax, and he's in the rocks. I'm thinking about, oops, sorry, kind of cut myself, didn't I? Messing with chickens, messing with the garden, probably one of the two. So I've colored in some rocks here, and got the little hyrax. I still want to put a little green on the rocks because rocks has moss growing on it, so you'll want a little green on your rocks here. And I'm still working on the little lizard I started yesterday, and I noticed that he's in the king's palace. He's small. That doesn't matter. If God puts you somewhere, doesn't matter your stature or how old you are. You have free reign. He had free reign in the king's palace. You can't keep all animals out of your home, much less your king's palace. So I want this to look kind of like a rich person. So I want to do the back wall in jewels. Now, anytime you do tile or a pattern, unless you just want it to look all, bumfuzzle kind of looking, haphazard, you have to do it like a craftsman would do it. So you have to make it straight. So you draw lines, and that's when I use rulers. I usually don't use rulers unless, like here, I used a ruler, because craftsman things have to be straight, because craftsmen do that. They make sure it's straight. So I've did all these little towels, and I want to make the look like jewels. So I'm going to start, kind of making them look like tiles. I've got my straight lines, but nothing's perfect like that in life. So now I can make it look like kind of a rounded edge tile now that I've got my lines drawn. That's the part of things in drawing people don't like to do. They just want to be free to draw, but that's the work. That's the work that goes in. That's the part that's not all that fun. You got to measure lines. You got to, make sure they're straight. I don't know how many times I had to straighten these lines out I was doing. And got a little here. That's what the eraser's for. And these little child erasers are really good. They're really good. I've got artist erasers. Where's my big one? Here it is. Gum erasers. But don't mess with perfect. It's already good. So whatever you have, use whatever you have. If you don't have anything but notebook paper to draw on the notebook paper. Do what you have. Use your school pencil. Look at there. One of my favorite drawing pencils. Some organization gave it to me. Look at there. It was free. That's one of my favorite drawing pencils. I don't know what I'm going to do when it's gone. But yeah, you use what you have. Use what you have. And your limitations of the little that you have, it will actually cause your creativity to grow. When you work in limitations, say, I don't have this, I don't have that, and my friend is an artist and their family has more than me, and it embarrasses me, so I don't want to do it. And well, if it embarrasses you, just do it at home. Just do it at home. But draw. You have to draw. If you're an artist, that's who you are. It's not just a hobby. See, this is something I learned after years of thinking art was just a hobby. No, it's embodied in you. It's who you are. It's part of your personality. It's part of your makeup. You can't help it. It's inside of you. It's special. It's good. It's a good thing from God that God has given you to work with in life, to make life more beautiful. Artists make things more beautiful. And that's what your job is. It's not to come up with some masterpiece that everybody knows you. No, it's to make things more. That might happen, but usually happens after you die. I just went to see Van Gogh, the exhibition, the 3D exhibition taken by my niece, friends, Heather. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I was so glad I went. And it was just an amazing thing. So if it comes through and you get to see it, go see it. If you're not an artist, it may not mean that much to you. But if you're an artist, go see it. Absolutely go see it. But anyways, he didn't sell a painting. He never sold a painting. And look, we've got museums dedicated to him now and shows going around dedicated to him. He never sold a painting. But he had to make things more beautiful. He had to. It was inside of him. That's inside of you. That's inside of you. That same thing. And make things more beautiful around you. That's why God gave it to you. Just anything you can do. If it's just your room, if it's just your notebook, I mean, make it beautiful. Your kind of beautiful. Whatever that is. That's your kind of beautiful. So we're going to just do random jewels. I never like doing the same pattern over and over and over, but, you know, some people do. But in particular, I like random. So I'm making these little jewels because I want it to look like expensive, like a king's palace. So I'm doing all these little jewels in the background. I love coloring. This is just like bringing out the child in me. I'm 65, guys. 65. I didn't realize that, you know, this artist thing inside of me, it is me. It is me. But it didn't really manifest itself until I put it up for 20-something years and didn't paint it all or draw. I'm just starting to draw. This is what's incredible. I've always painted, and I'm just starting to love drawing. So I'm learning as I'm teaching. I'm absolutely learning at the same time. I don't consider myself a good person of drawing. I don't know what you call that kind of artist, but I never considered that to be me. Because I've seen, see, this is what happens. You compare yourselves to other people. Don't do it. It held me back for so long. Don't let it hold you back. You are you, and there's never be another person like you because you have your own special DNA. And that means that there can never be another person like you. So your art is special to you, no matter what it looks like. So you be proud of it. Van Gogh, he had to paint. It was inside of him. He had to do it. But wow, Van Gogh, make it your whole life, and then you never sell a painting, but you still got to keep going. You still got to keep painting. Because, Van Gogh, you weren't painting for your generation. You didn't know it. You were painting for my generation and generations to come. Thank you, Mr. Van Gogh, for keeping up with it, even though it tortured you and you suffered. Thank you for enduring all that, because if you hadn't endured all that, we wouldn't have your beautiful work. He suffered. He did. Artists sometimes suffer because it's hard to make a living at it. It is. Unless you do something like graphic artistry and go into art school and end up in some job doing, you know, commercial art, things like that. Which would be great. Be great. I would have loved that, I think. Said I was a nurse. I was a nurse. Artists usually have to have second jobs, guys. But it only adds to your art. You know, being a nurse added to my art. It didn't take away from it. Nothing else you do in life, you learn. It becomes part of you. It becomes part of your art. So don't devalue your job or your ministry or whatever, because it's part of you too. You're not just one thing. Gosh, everybody in society tries to label us as one thing, don't they? We're not. We're complex beings that God has created. We're a mixture of things. We're a lot of things. I have a lot of different things I like. This right here, I've studied the Bible. I study the Bible. I'm an ordained minister. I don't put a, big stock into that. It's useful, but that's just part of who I am. This is part of who I am. I sing and play the piano. That's part of who I am. I have a garden out there. That's part of who I am. I have my chickens. That's part of who I am. I have my family. There's just so many interests that we don't have to be one thing. We don't. So let this in your life make your life more beautiful. That's why you're an artist. To make things more beautiful. Get at it.